Hi, my name is Yedidya Harush. I was born and raised in the Gaza Strip. I'm number 3 out of 7 children. Just that you understand, the Gaza Strip is right there. My parents met a couple years before in Sinai, when Israel was still in Sinai, and they lived in the community of Atzmona. That's how they met, and after the peace agreement with Egypt, they were evacuated from their home and were asked to move to build the Gaza Strip together with the community by a man who was back then the Minister of Housing, Ariel Sharon. He told them that he'll help them to feed the bureaucracy, and it's a strategic location for Israel, and they went there. That's where I was born and grew up. Growing up in the Gaza Strip wasn't always easy, and we had to fight terror attacks, we had to fight rockets at times, and it was very, very hard to go to friends and relatives' funeral from a very, very young age. My dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Israeli Defense Forces, so I grew up in a home that was always dedicated for the state of Israel and building and believing in an ideal. I'm number 3 out of 7 children, and my mom, she was a school teacher. And even though it wasn't so easy to live in Gush Katif, in the Gaza Strip, we were very, very happy to live there because we believed that we were there for a reason. In 2005, the same man, the Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, decided to disengage from the Gaza Strip, and on August 14, 2005, which was also my birthday, the disengagement happened. Now you gotta realize what it was for a 17-year-old boy to say goodbye to his house. A house I know I'm never gonna see again. Not because we wanted to move, because we had to. And I remember standing in front of the house, holding the key of the house, watching these big yellow bulldozers knocking the house down within 3 minutes. 3 hours later, the entire community was flat on the ground, and I had to say goodbye to my memories, my childhood, and my dreams, and leave everything behind. My sister always had this dream that when she grows up, she want to walk on the same sidewalk she walked to kindergarten on her wedding day. My best friend, about a half a year before the disengagement, lost his father in a terror attack. He was buried in the Gaza Strip. They had to remove the grave. After you remove the grave, you have to do another funeral, to see yeshiva again. It was a very, very, very traumatic feeling and situation for the people who lived there. But as soon as the people of Gush Katif left those gates of the Gaza Strip for the last time, they had a decision to make. Either we say we're upset, say we don't want to be part of this country anymore, and take the negative side, as some people did, or say we still believe in the people of the land of Israel, and we want to be positive. So, after the disengagement, I was very fortunate. I received the basketball scholarship to come to Highland Park, New Jersey for 2 years of high school. After the 2 years, I graduated successfully, received the scholarship, to continue to college, but then I had to make another decision. Whether I decide to stay here and continue my successful life in college, or go back and join the Israeli Defense Forces. And I decided to go back to join the Israeli Defense Forces, and I joined the Paratroopers unit. Started off as a soldier, then chose to continue to become a commander, to lead younger soldiers to battle. It's not like every other army in Israel. Everybody starts as soldiers, and then you have the option, if they choose you, to continue and become a commander. About 4.5 years ago, I was honorary discharged from the Israeli Defense Forces, and I got involved in Halutza. To understand the story of Halutza, allow me to go back to the year 2001. Ehud Barak goes on Camp David campaign with Yasser Arafat, and he offers them a land swap. Tells him, I'll give you some area down by the Negev, by the desert, next to your friends in Egypt, your brothers in Gaza, and in exchange, you'll give me some of the Yudea and Samaria. Peace will come to the world, everybody will be happy. He says, great, let's go see the place. And when they drive down to Halutza, Yasser Arafat comes out of his car, he looks to his left, and he looks to his right, and all he sees is sand, and a little bit more of sand. And in terms of the offer, in 2003, Ariel Sharon becomes the prime minister. He takes this offer and he tears it apart and he puts it in the garbage and he writes a new plan to build 4 communities in a small town in the middle. And he believes, just like our first prime minister, Ben Gurion did, everybody will follow to the Negev. Well, it was wrong, nobody did. Until 2005, when the peace engagement happened. And 2 communities, my former community, the community of Atzmona, and another community, the community of Netzarim, decided to be positive about the whole plan. And they go up to the government and they say, we're upset, we disagree with what you did, but where is the next national mission? We want to be there. The government doesn't hesitate. They point at this very strategic location on the map. It's located on the triangle border near Egypt and Gaza, a place that was never developed or lived in before. They tell you, you want to drive to Halutza, drive to the end of the world, make a left, and keep going. That's how you get to Halutza. And we had 2 preconditions with the government. The first precondition was that this is not going to be a refugee camp for people from the Gaza Strip only. This is going to be open for anybody who wants to come and settle the Negev. And the second precondition was that this is not going to be some isolated community in Israel. This is going to be something sustainable, a viable region. And we were 30 families at the time. We really believed in ourselves. The government a little less. We asked them for 400 lots to provide us with the infrastructure, sewage, the water, electricity. The government looked at us and said, you guys are crazy. You guys are Shiran. There's no way anybody will follow you. This is our national mission, but we don't think you'll succeed. Like nobody ever did before. And we went there. 30 families. We got 100 lots developed, and we went there. And at the beginning, it was very, very hard. Just try to think for a second. You just lost your home. You don't have anything. And you stand in the middle of nothing. And you think to yourself, this is one day is going to be a beautiful community. And it's hard, especially when you see this, and it's hot. And we went there. And we're about 4.5 years after we got into our permanent houses. Today, Halutza has 250 families in 3 different communities. The first community is in Negev, 100 families living in, half of them permanent houses, the other half is waiting for their house to be built. The second community is Shlomi and Bnei Netzarim. Bnei Netzarim is also 100 families, half of them live in permanent houses. And the third, and the newest one, is Shlomi. Shlomi just broke ground about 2 years ago with 50 families and trailers. Shlomi is going to be the biggest town with 50 families and trailers. Shlomi is going to be the biggest town in the area with 1,500 families. And together we complete an area of 2,000 people. We're considered the fastest growing area today in the southern region of Israel. And percentage of kids were #1 in the country per capita. And this is considered a miracle because we grow thousands and thousands of acres of land, of agriculture. We grow tomatoes, and we grow lettuce, and we took this land that was a place of death, and we turned it into an oasis. And we use solar panels, and we use hydroponic, and nobody believed that anybody can grow in the sand so well. In fact, we proved to everybody that the sand is the best place to grow on. In the Arava, on the other side of the country, people import sand from Jordan. And we export thousands and thousands of tons of produce to Europe. We grow, for example, special potatoes for Russia, so it could last longer in the cold. The Germans have special taste that they like. And this is, I believe, the newest technology that we use. It's hydroponics, it's high-tech. We grow lettuce in the air. Everything is controlled with an app on your phone. And as you can see over there, the lettuce is actually growing on the water. And it's disconnected from the ground, so the bugs that usually come from the ground, it's disconnected. And we're proving to everybody that when you want something, when you have a vision, you see something in front of your eyes, you can do it. And it's possible. And we have done it. We have done it in Halutza, and we're still doing it. You know, when I was in the army, our officer always told us, you know, he would make us run and crawl. I would cry. I would say, you know, he would tell us to climb the mountain and say, there are so many rocks and thorns, it's so hard. He said, listen, guys, if you have a target in front of your eyes, and you see the obstacles on the way, it means you took your eyes off the target. And the reason why we're so successful is that we see the target. We want to be, 10 years from now, 20,000 people. Because this area is a strategic location for Israel because it's so close to the border. It's a place that was always a place for illegal immigrants for many, many years, and smuggling of weapons and women and drugs being done on both sides of the border every night. And because we're there, the army is there, and we're making sure that we protect the border. And for us, that's the mission, to be there, because we were sent by the state of Israel. And I really want to invite you all to come and really visit us in Halutza. And I promise you that when you come there, it will look a lot different, because every day it can change. And I hope to see you there very, very soon. Thank you.